We zijn in Stuttgart, tenminste nog steeds in die fotostudio, kleine fotostudio in de buurt van Stuttgart. En ik sta hier met meneer Marcus Atz. En dat is de project manager mid-engine GT cars. Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
That's a nice title to have, I guess. Because you get to work on basically on the nicest stuff that comes from Stuttgart, or at least Porsche.
Yes, yeah. You're right. I'm blessed with this job, and it's a lot of fun too.
We're standing in front of the new GT4 and the new Boxster Spyder.
Yep.
Cool cars. I've told the people a lot about it already. But I want to know from you, basically, how did all this come together? How long have you been working on this car, for instance? When did it start, the development?
We're working on this car since 2016 already. And with a team, with a big team, just for all the improvements we did into the car.
Okay. So 2016, that was even before the 718 was introduced already, or just after, or somewhere around that time?
Yeah.
I don't have the exact years in my head, but yeah. So basically, as soon as the 718 was there, you guys were already working on these cars.
That's always the thing to do. If one car is starting with production, you always think about the next car.
Yeah.
And the previous GT4 was that big success, which exceeded also our expectations. So we just wanted to create an even better successor model.
Yeah.
And I think we have reached this goal with this car, with a lot of detail and refining work on it.
Okay. I guess you had to make some difficult choices because
yes.
the previous version had the 3.8 engine.
Yeah.
That's out of production, I think, even
yes.
now. So you had to come up with something else. The new Boxster new Cayman, the 718 series have four-cylinder engines, 2.5, 2 liter. So there were a lot of options on the table, I guess. So how did you come to this choice? Because it's the choice of engine mainly is the biggest news in this car.
Yes, that's the heart of the car, and we know the expectations of our customers. We also have expectations on our own cars. We have to fulfill a high level in driving fun, responsiveness, and all of the argues you have for such a car. And it was not very easy because the older engine didn't fulfill the requirements and regulations for exhaust, and the four-cylinder was with the GTS version nearly on his highest level of output, and for the GT cars we have the strategy to have the naturally aspirated engines, which we also use in the race cars. So for emotionality, for driving fun, responsiveness, we soon came to the point that we have to have again a naturally aspirated engine with enough displacement to have enough torque.
Yeah.
And in the same way, we have to fulfill all the new requirements we had, not only for gas, also for particulate emissions and for the noise emissions.
Yeah. So that's basically something everybody was thinking about. I mean, the internet exploded over the last years, basically. When the first test mules were on the Nordschleife, everybody was like, oh, what kind of engine are we hearing? what are we listening to? Did you try out different engines in the car? Or did you first make the choice for this engine and then started testing?
The thing was, we had pretty soon been sure that we want to create a completely new naturally aspirated engine with 4.0 liters based on the 9A2 Evo family, which now is known out of the Carrera with the 3.0 liter turbocharged engine. This is basically the engine family which we took to develop this naturally aspirated engine.
Okay, but the fact that it would be naturally aspirated was certain from the beginning. You didn't try the 3 liter turbo in this car, for instance, or
no.
Okay.
No.
Okay, cool. it seems like a very big choice to make a completely new engine for a relatively low volume amount of cars. Are we going to see this engine in other cars probably, or I'm going to try.
Let's wait and see. You know, we have every time we have started with the engine family, so it's not a completely new engine, but we use some parts we know already. But a lot of parts are for sure new to get the high revolutions of this engine with 8,000 revolutions per minute. So you have some parts which are already off the shelf.
So that saves costs.
That saves costs. And maybe we look for some options if we can use it again. You know, we always have some ideas for models, for derivatives.
Of course.
Let's see
if
we have some more
surprises
in our pockets.
Cool. More generally, the GT line of cars. I mean, you've recently, I think the last project was the Speedster before this.
Yes.
So now, we're kind of spoiled because everything is kind of out there. The new GT3 is probably not going to be here within a few months, I'm guessing. What's the future of GT cars look like? Because naturally aspirated is probably going to be harder and harder to maintain. So what kind of routes can we think of? Where are we in like 5 or 10 years? Are we going to see hybrid cars, or are we going to switch to turbochargers? Or what are the options that you guys are considering? You don't have to tell me what it's going to be. I understand, but.
I think in the company we have now a lot of know-how regarding electric cars, which are coming soon. We develop Formula E cars, where we gain a lot of know-how. We have hybrid cars now for a really long time. We had the 918 Spider, which was a real good performance hybrid car. But we also have some long history with combustion engines, and trust in us, we always have some new ideas, and we also have the goal to fulfill all the requirements, all the regulations, also with engines with which we have fun. So I hope the customers have too. And we give everything to keep alive such cars like this. And the Euro 7 exhaust standard is not already completely finalized, so we don't know if this engine already fulfills it or not. But we believe that we can evolve also this engine probably to a Euro 7 compliant engine. But all the Euro 6 levels we fulfill already now, so the life cycle of this car is completely guaranteed with a naturally aspirated engine. And
after that,
then
we'll
we
have
see
to wait and see what regulations do.
What regulations do, what technology is able to do. But believe us, we like this car that much. We don't want to.
We want to keep them as long as possible. Is it also? I mean, we're going to see a fully electric Macan in the future. Porsche has announced it already. Are those kind of cars also enabling you guys to keep building this, because you have to have like an average emission standard within the company?
Yes.
So if other cars get cleaner, you can maybe hold on to these kind of cars a bit longer? Or?
Here also the requirements of the several countries are completely different. So for sure, electric cars enable us on the other side also to build on such combustion engines cars. And we need to do both. I also think if the electric car spreads more and more, there always will be a need for such fun cars as this.
A fun electric
so
car.
We have to keep a balance between electric cars, probably also other alternative kind of drivetrains, and the old school but very desired emotional cars.
Yeah, so the dinosaurs in the car world. I can imagine that now that there's more and more electric stuff going on, also within Porsche, that there's already a demand for like a GT car which is electric. Do you get any signals out of the market that people already want such a car, or are you guys mainly preparing for the moment the demand comes in?
Me, for myself, I don't know any feedback of customers which says to us, please bring us an electric GT car at the moment. We observed all the discussions about the engine of the new GT4 and Spider cars. They always handled about 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, or turbocharged or not.
Yeah.
And nobody ever said he want electric GT4.
Managed to keep that out of the room.
But even then, if the technology evolves, the reliability gets better, the performance, the output. Maybe we also have to think about such things in the future.
It is incredibly interesting. I mean,
so we keep always our eyes on it.
Yeah, because also for passionate driving, electric can be very interesting because acceleration stuff is like mind-blowing with electric cars.
Yeah. So the problem on electric cars is not that you can build them sporty. That is possible. An electric engine has that much torque and that much power. No problem compared to other combustion engines. The main problem is the reproducibility on a track. Perhaps a lot of cars
heat management
have the problem with heat, or if the battery capacity goes down, also the output goes down. So these are the main challenges on creating electric sports cars. But we learn a lot with Formula E. We learned a lot with the LMP project, where we had a hybrid drive. So I won't say it's completely not possible to create a GT car in an electric way, but not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Not at the moment. All in time. All right. Last question. What's next? I mean, how long do we have to wait for the next GT project to come out?
We're just in the beginning of the rollout of this one, but I can promise you we have a lot in our pockets, a lot of ideas, a lot of models to come. Also, again, with improved performance. But now we're concentrating in the moment of this year. Our big highlight is the GT4 and the Spider twins, because they are completely the same except of the roof.
Yeah.
So this is our big bang in this year, after the Speedster was released only a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we're getting spoiled.
So we are only a small
department.
A small department, and we can do 2 or 3 different cars in 1 year.
I like you doing less cars good instead of pumping out cars. And
that's the point.
Which maybe are.
We also have a high expectation on our job. We want to bring a good car every time, even better than the one before. So that's hard work, as we discussed it with the engine. So as you said, better, less cars, which are
quality
better.
over quantity.
Yes, that's the point of view.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And we'll just wait patiently for the next car and for the test drive in this car.
For the test drive.
Okay. Dat was hem. Meneer Marcus Ats. En zijn jullie helemaal bij over mid-engined GT cars van Porsche.